In last week's video, I shared the different environment types that each one of us feels the most comfortable in. And I alluded to and kind of briefly touched on the difference between being observed in our environment and observing our environment. And in today's video, we are going to dive deeper into the right-facing or the left-facing of that environment arrow and how that interacts with if your energy is best observed or if your energy best observes your environment. So if you're interested in that, stick around for today's human design video. Hello and welcome to, or welcome back to the Simply CA. My name is Alana, and on this channel you are going to find the tools, tips, resources, and coaching to help you live your most aligned, most authentic to who you naturally are life. We do this through whole food plant-based eating, yoga and fitness videos, and human design lifestyle coaching. If you are enjoying this content, please click on that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you know every time I post a new video. And please let me know what content you want more of by giving it a thumbs up as well as giving me some comments down in the comment section. If you are interested in all of this information, but you want a little bit more personalized, individualized information, you can also click the link in the description box to book a one-off human design reading or ongoing human design life coaching with me. And with all of that out of the way, let's get into today's environments video part 2, where we are going to talk about observed versus observing. So when we are talking about environments and whether your energy is best observed or is best observing your environment, we are talking about the bottom left arrow and whether it points to the left or to the right. Now, when that bottom left arrow is pointing to the left, it means that you are an active participant in your environment, and because of that, it means that you like to know your environment. It feels more comfortable for your energy to be familiar with your environment. And in that familiarity, others can observe you in your energy, in your natural habitat. It allows your energy to feel grounded and present and really just more comfortable and more easy. Now, if that bottom left arrow is pointing to the right, that means that you are a more passive participant in your environment. Now, what this means for you is that your energy feels natural and flowing when you are watching what's happening around you. You are observing the movements, the interactions, the scenery of the environment that you are in. It doesn't mean that you need to know it. It means that you actually feel the most comfortable when you are watching the interactions around you in potentially a new or a different environment. Now, I am pretty sure I say this in every single video, but I say it because it's important. And whenever we are looking at ourselves and whenever we're looking at someone else, there's a tendency for us to think that what we have isn't good enough or what someone else has is easier or better. So, as always, neither of these, none of this is good or bad or right or wrong. This is about learning your energy and working with your energy so that your life gets to be easy and smooth and flowing and your energy is in natural rhythm and alignment, instead of trying to push against what works for somebody else but isn't aligned with your natural energy. It's so important for us to recognize what works best for us and to let go of what might work for someone else when it doesn't actually work for each individual other person. So sometimes what works for someone else is actually going to work for you, and sometimes what works for someone else is not going to work for you. So please take this information as getting to know yourself better. Try it on for size. This is not gospel, so definitely this is not the one and only thing, and there's so many layers to human design. So try it on. see how it works for you. And if you are shifting and if you recognize this in yourself and you recognize that you've actually been pushing against your natural energetic alignment, that's okay. Just try this out, see how it goes, and see if things get a little bit smoother for you. So I like to use human design in a very tangible way. So we are going to use a tangible example of how the observed or the observing could interact. Now, I'm going to use a common example, and I'm going to, just for the sake of it, pretend that this is a manifesting generator whose top left arrow points to the right, and we're only gonna play with that bottom left arrow. So we're gonna say, for the sake of it, these people are the same, except that bottom left arrow pointing to the right or to the left. And for fun, let's use dating as an example. Also, because I can kind of use myself as the basis of this example. So I am that manifesting generator with the bottom left arrow pointing to the left, meaning that I prefer to be in known environments. And when I'm in those known environments, my energy is able to shine. I feel the most comfortable. And in that space, others will observe my energy and will interact and be drawn towards that stable, grounded, known energy. So it's a long weekend, and it is a Monday of a long weekend, and I decide on a whim, so this is that top right arrow going to the right, I decide on a whim that I'm gonna try out a different yoga class. Now, this is a class I don't normally attend. It's at a location I don't normally go to on my normal regimented days, but in this particular instance, I had that impulse, that desire to go to this class in this location at this time with this teacher. Now, out of those things, I know the studio. I'm comfortable in that space. It's not my regular studio, but I know it. I know the teacher. This is, again, a class I don't typically go to, but it's a teacher who I feel really comfortable with and know. So overall, this is an environment that my energy feels safe and comfortable and secure in, and therefore my energy can be observed while I'm in this space. So I go to this class, and sure enough, there's someone on the other side of the room who observes my energy, who is drawn to that energy, and we end up getting to know each other over the years and have been dating for a decent amount of time. So that is an example of being observed in that energy, in that comfortable space. Now let's take that same example, but we're gonna flip that environment arrow to somebody who is observing of their environment. So this friend decides on that long weekend that they feel the impulse to go to a yoga class. Now, instead of me, who with that left-facing arrow decides I'm gonna go to a familiar location with a familiar teacher, let's say that this right-facing environment arrow decides they wanna go to a class, but they really wanna do something different. They wanna jump forwards into a different space. And for whatever reason, they feel called to this other place that they don't typically go to a brand new teacher that they wouldn't normally see. And in that environment, this person is lit up and is excited, and their energy is energized through observing this new environment. They're watching the interactions of the teacher. They're watching the interactions of the other students in the class. They're paying attention to the environment and the space around them. And let's say that they happen to notice somebody's energy in that class. And after class, they decide that they're going to get to know that person a little bit more, and they strike up a conversation and they get to know them. That's an example of the slight difference between being the observer and the observed. Let's take this a step further, and let's say that you're going on a date with somebody. That person who prefers to be observed in their environment is typically gonna be that type of person who would rather plan a date. They want to know where they're going. They want to know what's next afterwards. They want to be able to know what shoes they need to wear. So you can actually probably tell as you're interacting with other people if their environment arrow is pointing to the left, because they're more likely to ask those types of questions. They don't really want someone to surprise them with a date. They're the people who want to have at least a basic foundation, a basic knowledge, or they're the person who would rather be the one planning the date. Now, on the other hand, that person with the right-facing environment arrow, they are going to be that type of person who is happy to have their partner plan a date. They're happy to have their partner be the one that takes control and surprises them with a new restaurant or a new location, or starting the date in one place and then rolling with the evening and seeing where it goes. They might also be the type of person who likes spontaneity and likes that game of chance. I'm going to pivot this example just slightly to further identify this right-facing arrow. And they might be the type of person who wants to plan a trip by going onto a website, picking the departing location, choosing the date, and then picking that third location that shows up on the list of like flash deals. So that's just a little bit to indicate and to showcase the difference between the two, as well as how they could potentially play out in dating. However, knowing yourself is so important when it comes to knowing what environment arrow, where your energy feels the most natural, so that either you can feel observed or that you can be observing. Knowing this environment has really helped me to better understand why it's so important for me to feel prepared for where I'm going. So for example, if we are going on a date, I do like to have an idea. Are we going to go for a hike first and dinner after, so that I can prepare what shoes, what bag, what clothes? I'm in line with my energy so that my energy feels relaxed. And it can also help you as that observer to understand that you are that type of person who truly doesn't need the plan. You are the type of person that's okay with a starting point and then seeing where it goes and watching the environment around you and the cues from the environment, and allow yourself to flow with the environment and with the energy that moves through that environment. So I hope this helps you better understand your environment arrow, what works best for your energy, and understanding a little bit more about the difference between being observed and observing. Now, there's absolutely no wrong, and just because you're an observing person doesn't mean that others aren't going to observe you as well. What it is being in the environment that your energy feels the most comfortable in, or being in that place where you are either rested in your environment so that you can be observed, or energized and outwardly focused in your environment where you're watching others. Whatever is correct for your energy is where you are going to get that feedback of others paying attention to you. So again, neither's right or wrong, neither is good or bad. It's about knowing your energy and putting yourself in the positions that works best for your energy, and helping your partner and your friends be in the energy and the environments that work best for them. I would love to hear from you. Let me know down in the comment section below how this is resonating for you, what you notice about your environment, whether observed or observing. And if you want more individualized attention, please click the link in the description to book either a one-off human design reading or ongoing life coaching. As always, if you enjoy this content, please do click on the thumbs up, the subscribe and notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.